Hi folks, change of tack for this watercolour. 3 brushes. This one's a number 12 Recab Sable Blend. Bought this 4 or 5 years ago. Now I bought a couple, I might have bought a larger one as well. This one I think is a number 14 Kolinsky Sable, and I paid less for this one. I think I paid about, I don't know, about £8–10 for it. And I've got a smaller one, and I think I didn't pay more than £12 for the 2 Kolinsky Sable. That's what it says. You can just about read it. And I bought this one. I bought the 2 of these. It's the last wonderful day out at the British Art in Action show near Oxford. It was a lovely. We went there 2 or 3 times. We went with my old art group, had a coach, and we picked up members of other local art groups, Banstead, Tabworth, and it was the last day, and the stands were selling off a lot of stuff cheap. They didn't want to take it back, and there were just thousands of brushes and stuff. Wonderful, wonderful day out. Saw the last time the wonderful David Curtis was demonstrating, so I had a chat with him. He was just inside this huge marquee with other artists, and he was looking out of the large entrance, just painting plein air, what was outside. Marvellous. Anyway, here's my palette, usual palette, Ron Ransom palette with the addition of this burnt sienna. Bit mucky around here, the yellow, but not worried. But I'm going to use these brushes. I'm going to go right back to the days when I actually started to make a breakthrough in watercolours. Didn't have Hakes in those days. Well, it did probably, but not that I knew of. And what I used to do was to wet parts of the paper. This is the £90 Saunders hot press by mistake, but it's a very good paper, so I'm quite happy using it. It's a bit smoother than what I've ever used before, really, but it takes a good wash, and so I'm going to wet it all over, but I'm going to use this sable and just see how much we can do with this. I'll leave a bit of sparkle in it, and I sort of had this Chinesey style. That's what some reporter said at some local art show. Okay, so I put in a bit of blue. Just drop it in. So just get all that nicely washed in. Oh, we got a bit of cloud as well. Just washing all over it. Just an impression of stuff going on here. And then we'll put a bit of ochre, yellow raw sienna. Now, I'm not really practiced with these brushes. It's not my normal way of painting, but it makes a change. Oh, let's add a little bit of red in there. You can do quite a lot with the papers like this. Now this all dries lighter than when you put it on, so you have to sort of make allowances for that. Okay, I'll reclip it and I'll give it a bit of a dry. So I'll take those off, pull that tight. Once you've wet it, it normally doesn't really need reclipping again because it stays perfectly flat. It's a lovely paper, very slick. Doesn't dry brush too well at the beginning, but what I found is as it dries, it lifts the surface a little bit. I've got a cup of tea here. I want to give you a little plug, or give a plug for Frank Herring and Sons, well now grandsons. It's Frank Herring years ago, many years ago, started or opened a wonderful art supply shop in Dorking. Not Dorking. What am I talking about? In Dorchester, which is a very old Roman town, and I know his son, who's quite elderly now, John Herring, but his son, the grandson, Paul, married the daughter of our neighbour who moved from where I live in Wallington in South London, and went to Bridport, which is not far from Dorchester. And she married Paul, the son, the grandson. He does the framing. And I know a lot of art shops have sort of gone out of business or ceased trading because of, we buy a lot of our stuff online now because it's good value. And you don't have to go looking. But I don't buy everything online. And but they diversified into things like spinning wheels and that sort of thing. He's got a gallery there, Dorchester. But if you're ever that way, call in and see Paul and Sarah. I know they'd like someone to say that Dave sent you, Dave Usher sent you. But it's a wonderful, wonderful art emporium, oldie worldy. You name it, they've got it, and it's good quality. So end of that little plug and that little names drop. Right, so okay, we went to their wedding some years ago, but probably about 8-9 years ago now, down in Morton, where T.E. Lawrence, Lawrence of Arabia, where he's buried, in the nearby churchyard, village churchyard, Morton, Moreton. So we visited that church several times, and with our trailer tent camping days at Morton. It's a wonderful church. In the war, don't mention the war, but I think the German bomber was going back home, and the pilot jettisoned the bombs, and they were quite indiscriminate, and it blew out all the stained glass windows in the parish church, which is very lovely. Well, that's only a small village, but it's very snooty village, very lovely. And the replacement windows were designed by Whistler, and they're plate glass, but they're beautifully engraved, etched, all clear, but fantastic, wonderful. And then to see all that, the wonderful design of these windows, and the coachloads of people that turn up to the church, and to see the grave or pay homage to Lawrence of Arabia. I'm going to give this a bit of a try. All goes on down in Dorset, you know. Fabulous county. This week. Now I'm going to put in a bit of rough ground. It's more of I think it's going to turn out to be a vignette rather than a full-size painting. It's trying to create a bit of atmosphere with a limited amount of brush strokes. Economy. So let's put in a bit of yellow, bit of sienna. I like mixing the yellow with burnt sienna with the yellow, and you can add in some bit of Payne's grey, bit of yellow, Payne's. It's a lovely brush, I must say. I'm going to put a bit of a tree coming out of this. Let's get a nice green now. Bit of blue, bit of yellow. Let's get a bit of dark in it now. let's put a bit of distance in there. Okay, let's get a bit of real good dark now, black or the Payne's grey and burnt sienna. It's good fun making stuff up. Well, that'll do for that. Now then, I just wonder if that will just to take a little bit of scraping out. I'm really making this up as I'm going along, but it just takes me back about 35, 40 years when I was trying to do watercolours, and like many of you, I struggled. It wasn't as easy as it looked. I'll dry that off, then I can put a bit of rigger work in, then do a tree. I think I'll use a nylon flat to do the tree, but I'll put a bit of rigger work in. Use one of Frank Clark's riggers. Just have fun with your paint. Doesn't matter if people don't like it, some will. And it just helps you, something simple, give you a bit of confidence of doing it. Right, I've got a flat. Did have a flat, look at this. This is a Pro Art Proline. I want to get some flat, but I want to get this flat. Somebody asked me about yesterday, I think it was. I've used it. It must be it's donkey's years old. It was I don't know where it come from. Dana Rowney. It probably was Dana Rowney because the shop only sold Dana Rowney. Didn't do any Winsor and Newton. Oh, they did some Galleria acrylics, but lovely flat brush. Probably bought this when I first started with Ron Ransom. Comes over 30 years ago now. But because I've used it for oil acrylic and over the years, you can see what's happened to it. It doesn't come to a flat shape. It's splayed because I've got in there, over the years, a bit of paint that's dried. And that's what happens when you don't really clean your brushes. So I won't use that one. I'll use this little one here. So I'll use a bit of burnt umber. Nice bit of dry. So let's just, where should we put it? Coming out of here. Not sure I like this one. Be better with a rigger. Let's use the rigger. I'll use my graduate rigger. I'll dry brush some leaves over this. Right, I'll take that brush now, the sable mix, and we'll put in some green leaves, touch of blue. I'll hold the brush like that, a bit more water. Let's have a bit of shadow on that side, I think. I'll do some rigger work on the twigs. I'm sure that's a great brush, really. Bit of Payne's grey, I think. On the shadow side, down to there. See, it takes a bit of dry brush now. I'll let that dry off a bit. I'm going to put a bit of... It's not a bad brush, is it? Get a bit of... well, I'll give that a bit of a dry. Might put some fence posts in with the flat. That's dry. It's the paper after that initial stretch is perfectly flat. I just with a bit of tea. Right. Yeah, if you want to spread the paint, just touch it with a bit of water. Right, that'll do for that. Right, I've got the get that grey. I just whoops. Alright, we can put a little bit of shadow there. The light's coming from there, so we can just use my big sable. Just a little bit of shadow. Okay, so I'll put that in the mount in a minute. I'll just give it a signature. I think it's worth a signature. It's just what should I paint next sort of picture, and it came to me that I'll do something very simple, as simple as I can make it anyway. Right, it's a new signature. I'll put a small amount on this one. I think that one, let's just put that on there. Close it off the 12 o'clock. Well, maybe just a little bit, just at the end of there, so let's just catching a bit of light up here. Right, that'll do. Very sketchy. Oh, there we are. Hope you like that. It really is as simple as I could make it, but I haven't done one of these for a long time. So, and not having much practice with these brushes, I should maybe more. But I do love the Hakes, my sort of brush. Let's see if we've got another mount. Unevens. Let's try this one. Ah, there's a nice one. Put the trees one side slightly. Okay. Let's just go up a bit. It's a nice mount, that one. It's getting a bit dirty now. Go down there. Oh, well, there we are. One painting. I can move the mount either way there because it's a much smaller aperture. I can put it in a big mount, which is this one. Oh, the other one. This one, which is too big really, but it only just fits. But considering there's a lot of air in this painting, there we are. Well, that's all right there. Well, I hope you like that one. I'll get that one uploaded, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for looking in, guys. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you soon. I'll be back to oil, I think, tomorrow. Oh no, funeral tomorrow. Alright, there we are. It's nice and straight. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.